Hello everyone, it's Melissa and I'm back with another process video. This is for a layout 8.5 by 11 size and it's of my daughter getting some glasses, her first pair. Super cute. So I'm going to start like always by pulling from my product jar, and the fun thing about this layout is I do in fact use everything that I pulled. So, mixed media is, I use that word lightly. So anyways, I do get all 7, at least one on my project. So starting off here, I'm going to start by showing you that I use some Heidi Swapp gold color shine. Just did a couple sprinkles there. And I also cut from a Carrie Bradford file a background piece with some vellum with my cameo. It's an old piece of vellum that had some gold hearts on it from Stampin'Up. This is also a really old Stampin'Up paper collection, not available anymore, but I loved the colors. And so I'm gonna start by, cutting some of this paper here, and I'll end up using some of the back, in fact, later on. But just going to cut it and get started paper piercing and adhering down some of my elements. So yeah, this layout, super fun because in fact, my daughter is geeked over the moon that she needed glasses. Even though her vision is like basically perfect, I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. She wanted them to read the whiteboard at school and whatnot, and I thought, sure. I took her to Costco, let her get her glasses, and she is one happy little teenager. So, yeah. So you saw me use some washi for my stash. It was just like a turquoise, and I cut a piece of pattern paper from that Stampin' Up! Collection, and now, comes the crazy part. We all do. I certainly hope we all do, but it's what I like to call the fidget stage. And I'm going to fidget and fidget and fidget and just laugh the whole way because watching this voiceover, doing this voiceover just cracks me up. Okay, so right there, I'm going to start by cutting down my photos. I printed them from home, 3x4 size, but I do end up cutting them down a little bit more to fit the little area there that I want them to go in. I have a Project Life card, an old one from my stash that says Recording Life. The right here wood veneer is from Ellie Studio, and I'm going to back that up actually because it's not reading, the right now isn't reading very well on the taupe colored card. So I'll back that up on a dark teal scrap piece of paper from my stash. I'll end up using more of that later, but I really used that whole scrap and then there wasn't much left to toss out. And you'll see that later. So while that's drying, I'm just going to so I'm going to mark this card because I want to personalize it for me. And later you'll see that I will run half of this through a Swiss Dots embossing folder and give that top portion some dimension, which I love. And a Swiss Dots embossing folder is like one of my favorites. Okay, so here is a Project Life card with some words on it. And more specifically, I like the words that say the story of this day. So I'm trying to see what die cut or what dies I have that could possibly fit into. And I come across this Stampin' Up! Punch. And it's like a decorative label punch. And I'm going to cut it out and adhere the sentiment to a piece of copy paper, typing paper, and feed it into my punch upside down. It makes it easier. And I'll use that later on the side of my photo, just like as a little piece of ephemera. So yeah, I kind of have a bunch of little subtitles for this layout. The story of this day, Recording Life, right here, and then my actual title, which I will, put together myself with stamps, which in all truthfulness, I totally love. So I kind of like when you can use your elements and totally make something your own, personalizing it. I just love it. So right here you see me with this turquoise pattern paper. That was from the same Stampin' Up! Collection, just a scrap, which I am desperately going to piece together and use. And there's my title. Yay! It says, "Hey, beautiful, you look spectacular." And I use this Concord and Ninth alpha stamp, which is called Perfectly Pinned. I used Smoky Slate ink from Stampin' Up! I used a Paper Smooches Incognito stamp set and a Paper Smooches Fun and Flirty. All very used, loved and used. And so the hay, and so I'm using the beautiful die from Simon Says Stamp. So the hay was cut from the Paper Smooches. I just did a bunch of masking. And then You and Spectacular were from stamps. And then Look, I used the alpha and, stamped LOOK. So, all using my Misty, by the way, because I can't stop, won't stop, basically. Okay, so, I love that thing. So here I'm going to use a hole punch and punch where I marked earlier so I can run some twine through there and they'll nestle in there without shifting around, which, it's just a fun thing that I like to do. I've already showed that I've embossed with the Swiss dots, and I went ahead, I'm going to tie a button with a knot, which, in hindsight, this button has a little more dimension than I like for my layouts in my album, but I'm going to live with it. You can see above there that I also cut from a My Favorite Things. It's got like a glasses die. This pair of glasses from that teal cardstock that I used to back up the right here wood veneer. And I cut two of those. I have that size and a smaller size that you will see me use later. And I'm just going to glue that up there on top of those little Swiss dot bumps, which makes it a little difficult to glue, but it'll work. I'm adding an office paper clip, silver, and it's from Stampin' Up. It's white, and it's almost, I want to say, it's not satin, but it's like seam binding. And I just hot glued it, kind of made it look all fanned out and cute. All right, so this stamp set is from Ellie Studio, and I liked the So Excited About, and I stamped it on a Chic Tags, like old label. And the same Smoky Slate Stampin' Up! Ink. And that stamp set, like I mentioned, is from Ellie Studio, and there's a die that matches, and it's called Celebrate. I don't know if it's still available. I apologize. I'm not sure if any of these stamp sets, except for Concord and Ninth, because that alpha set is maybe only a year old. If they're available, I'm sorry. You guys know I'm always just using my stuff. So, okay, so I'm going to start adhering things down and getting stuff situated. I'm really desperate here. I'm just trying to use up scraps. I guess the only people will know is that me and, I don't know, every other person on YouTube that watches this video, that these are not full sheets of patterned paper. I'm even going to put that little scrap in there because I'm worried. Oh my gosh. And looking back now, it's kind of funny. I'm worried that you're going to see a little gap in there. I don't want a gap. So I ended up gluing that other little scrap of piece I had in between there. So yeah, I'm just fidgeting, and just trying to get everything where I want it. Fidgeting is, crazy. I do a lot of it. You wouldn't believe all that gets edited out of my videos. So I'm wanting to bring more of the little colored lime green or whatever it is that's in the top piece of patterned paper, kind of down to the bottom, because essentially I don't have that color anywhere else in the layout. So I pulled it from the collection. I'm going to tear the bottom. You guys know how much I like tearing edges and roughing edges up. It's just my thing to do here. And so, yeah, I'm really going to be serious now and commit, because I'm going to pull out my Tombow adhesive, and you all know once you do that, there's no going back. So I'm actually going to I'm going to glue down with that adhesive pretty much everything now at this point. I only have the finishing touches on this layout, and yeah, so I'm going to add the So Excited About tag there on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and add the second set of glasses that I cut with that same teal. Again, that was from My Favorite Things. And I'm going to put it there, and eventually you'll see me add some hearts for my stash, just some die cuts with some red. And you can't see it here, but I did add some Week of Stella to the word beautiful die cut. You can see it in person, but not so much here. I can see that now. So let's see, trying to get some more wood veneer onto this page. And these are old studio calico, like wonky circles. And then the back side is blank, but on the other side says words that, are irrelevant or I can barely read. And so I've just been using these up and using the back sides. Okay, so I went and did my journaling with my typewriter. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And what that says is, this girl was seriously over the moon when she found out she needed glasses. Hashtag total weirdo. Hashtag adorbs. And I put Costco Dr. Annie. And yeah, this kid, I just love her to bits. Okay, so the back sides of that wood veneer, I went ahead and used some silver detail embossing powder, and I used the stars from that Celebrate stamp from Ellie Studio. There's 3 in that, or 4 in that set. I used 3, and I stamped 3 different on those pieces of wood veneer. I'm adding the hearts to the eyes. Gonna add some Week of Stella to those later to give them some sparkle. I'm adding brads because, brads were for my jar, and that's it. And the rest of this came together this is it. This is just the finishing touches. So what I'm going to do is slow the video down so you can get a close-up view of this layout. And yeah, I'm going to also add enamel dots. You'll see me do that because that was part of my project pull and I didn't want to forget about it. It's an easy thing to add. And then I got all 7 of them used. So I'll put my links to my social media in the description box below, which is my Facebook page and my Instagram. I would love for you to come check me out and follow me over there. If you like this video, I would love a thumbs up, and also subscribe. I would love more subscribers, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm trying to post 1 a week, but I'm being realistic as well. And so yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will be back. I've already got pictures printed for another project. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.